That's not for play. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Yo, Big Christy. 2 1 2. King Christy here. Yo. I kept a mean stash, cash in my poker chips. I need a fast buck, fuck all this local shit. I be the god body, hustler, vocalist. I'm in the park lobby, come and get a toke of it. Couple years selling coca, bitch. 4 steers, feds and peers, couple peers started smoking it. I learned the street code from older cats. How to serve, work, and hold the gat. He know the polar caps. Me against the beast, no holding back. Streets change, I study math, then I peak game. Mortal Kombat, like Lee Kane, Christ G.O.D. thing. Nah, you don't want to wrong. That's not for play. Christy in here. 1 2 1 2. You don't want to wrong. King Christy in here. Not for play. Those days we was young boys clutching green. Cell door closed and crushed the dreams. Read the book of life, but what it means. Still no regrets. We serve fiends from the 5th floor steps. I'm still the king doing morning sex. Nah. You don't want to do. That's not for play. Christy here. King Christ, breath of life, verse Lucifer. What's a pipe, Lord, high executioner. Hearts and lungs, I blast through the vital ones. Snatch your cord, sling a sword like Michael's son. No fucks, that's how the titles run. Where they live and die by the gun, the hood where I'm from.
That back of life, I get to you. Now tell me what you gonna do. I take the time to realize you got your best still that's life. The back of life, I get to you. Now tell me what you gonna do. I take the time to realize you got your best still that's life. The back of life, I get to you. Now tell me what you gonna do. I took the time to realize you got you, but still this life. The breath of life, I get to you. Now tell me what you gonna do. I took the time to realize you got you, but still this life. The breath of life, I get to you. Now tell me what you gonna do. I took the time to realize you got you, but still that's life. You got you, but still that's life. You got you, but still that's life. What you gonna do? I took the time to realize you got you, but still that's life.
For a rich, catch a headstone really quick. You know the script, New York City shit. To the real street niggas that be feeling this. Shit serious, show them how it really is. For a rich, catch a headstone really quick. You know the script, New York City shit. To the real street niggas that be feeling this. Shit serious, show them how it really is. Welcome to hell, bells will ring my name. They know me well, get mailed king of fame. This is New York where the guns conceal, where the haters hate and love is real. Congratulations, marry blood is still. Ain't no debate, where's your rumble skills? Catch a snake, let the muzzle spill. Test your faith where the slugs kill. Home of the greats where they rub the pill. Where stick-ups and drug deals. Fast and guns, young boys be laying in the casket for one. Take off half your lung, wolves walk among you. Show them all your cash, they show you what the gun do. Here, we play the block, have a bundle. Split pie, survive in the jungle. Sketch the scenery on point, cause everybody ain't who they seem to be. think about what it means to you. Keep money in a stack, kick back with the greenery. For a rich, catch a headstone really quick. You know the script, New York City shit. To the real street niggas that be feeling this shit serious, show 'em how it really is. For a rich, catch a headstone really quick. You know the script, New York City shit. To the real street niggas that be feeling this shit serious, show 'em how it really is. I made it home, I survived the gym. Young bucks turned to wiser men. Some caught 3 lives in the pen. Some came home the size of men, but from the grave never rise again. Whole city full of crimes and crooks. Work gets sold, hoes stole, a lot of lives get took. Niggas live off the crack rocks. You ain't home, better get off the back block. When you see me black, trust nobody, but please believe me that thugs no love where the fiends is greasy. At my son lost blood like a hemophiliac. You have white Doug caught slugs cause he's a rat. Either lay him down or give him a cheese pack. The sun still shine, give me mine cause I need that. When killer cops roam where a million MCs at. A sucker free zone, call it home cause I bleed that. For a rich, catch a headstone really quick. You know the script, New York City shit. To the real street niggas that be feeling this shit serious, show 'em how it really is. For a rich, catch a headstone really quick. You know the script, New York City shit. To the real street niggas that be feeling this shit serious, show 'em how it really is. Get back to the basics. Me mugging faces, blood on my laces. I left the scene with no traces. That's what I thought. I'm in the bullpens, cases in court. King Christ versus state of New York. Back on the block, feel like hate from the pork. Don't like my plate short, that's the scene. I see my team in Feds magazine. Niggas want smoke, I pour the gasoline, fire in the whole sun. Walk with a sword like the Shogun. Active lately, live where the cops might assassinate me. So we gotta make this fast, baby.
Underground emperor. Niggas want drama, I'ma check their temperature. Niggas know the game, how the streets go. They wanna play games like Coleco. My vision, check my intuition. Staten Island, dope boy on a mission. I need a couple plaques in my living room. Legendary rubber bands, LP real soon.
Right. Yo, a thin line between concubines, warring over territory on the borderline. Doggy-dog world, your brother trip you from behind, before he see you shine. My projects be Vietnam, black Vietnamese from overseas, calling the guns Ginsus like we was Japanese. Paddling dope, when you want it, you sting like a hornet, and ride like a rebel. Some would do anything to rock a Rolex bezel, like knocking their own mama over the head with a shovel. It's like you God and you surfing with the devil. So bottom line is, however you approach this, you gotta stay focused.
I spoke on the mic like Tyson in the 80s. It's crazy, DNA's transferring you the 80s. Terrorize the block after you for 380s. Robbing drug lords, anyone that's trying to play me. Yeah, I keep the rubber grip clicking. For 100,000 cash, end up with your click missing. The zone was fish black, danger. Black death to strangers. Many found with links, the bones and lives in shambles. Wakes with candles, damn bro, the witnesses die. They can't ramble. Lock hex, fake hustlers trying to rep the set. The devils get buried 6 feet with the shovel. Lock hex, fake hustlers trying to rep the set. The devils get buried 6 feet with the shovel.
Yeah, those are my joints. Yeah, they can't put it. They can't put my own jump off. They could try. But I came back though because I wanted to finish that point. I wanted to finish that point that I was asking y'all about. I see somebody answered it, but I don't know what happened. Right? When Abraham goes to Egypt, right? Peace, John Carter. When Abraham goes to Egypt, right? He don't have no knowledge of Judaism, Christianity, or Islam when he go there, right? Where's Joseph? I make my own point. But, you know, when Abraham goes to Egypt, right? He don't have knowledge of none of this stuff. All of the people and everything, they don't have the knowledge of none of this stuff. Right? They go to Egypt and they come out with this knowledge. Jassim said, I think the only signs he would have had was the sun, moon, stars, Sumerians, or the Ugaritic culture knew about that. That's what I'm saying. So where did that knowledge come from, right? Where did that knowledge come from? And why is this story consistent? Somehow or another, all these stories got one source.
It's 8 o'clock.
Right, the consistency of a tree's branches can be found at the root. So that's what I'm saying. That all of these stories, none of these people seem to know what they're doing until they go to Egypt. Like, didn't Joseph have to go down there with Mary at one point? So everybody goes to Egypt, right? And they end up with this specialized, right? Jesus went down there for a period of time too. So that's what I'm saying. They all go down there and they come out with this new consistent knowledge. What's going on, Box? You see what I'm saying? Like, you know, Muhammad, he's a prophet, but at the same time, I'm saying he's a writer of a story, right? That he's still writing, hundreds of years later. Like Muhammad, he's doing what he's doing. He's the prophet that's giving the revelation that he's given. But the story he's telling, right, is thousands of years old. So now we got to get into, right? Who's Gabriel? Because Gabriel plays the key role. Gabriel plays the key role in all three of them. Not so much in Judaism. So who is Gabriel? Yeah, he was the messenger. He's in all the stories. So this guy's the teacher. He said Gabriel is the Megatron. The voice of God. Now, in Islam, right, is Bilal and Abu Bakr Gabriel? Because we the 5%. We don't believe that no mysterious unseen being.
Sarah said, come get your laundry.
Really came down and did it. Like, why is this particular messenger mysterious, right? But then Muhammad as a messenger, he's not mysterious.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go there. Yeah. So John Carter Gabriel means the word of God? Because I know L means God. But I'm not sure what all those first parts mean. What does Gabriel mean? Geb is the earth. Oh, and Kemetic signs. All right. Let me see if I could get. Let me see if I can get a meaning. Let's see if we can get a meaning right here for. So now it says here, yeah, that's what we getting back. That's what we getting back to, Supreme Man. That's why I wanted to finish making my point too. So it says that Gabriel means a strong man. Asiatic forever, peace. Mahadi said Gabriel means man of God. So Gabriel is a man. So that's why I said, if Gabriel is a man, right, then just like we say, look, Far didn't invent the knowledge. Somebody had to have the knowledge in order to give it to him for him to bring it over here. So who is that man that was able to bring that knowledge to all of them? And why do they all go to Africa, right? And then, sometime during that time or shortly after that, they hear from the man of God who delivers the word to them. But they tell us it's an angel. Supreme Man said, yeah, back to my eye. This is the oldest written down language. It is now older than mathematics, but don't confuse mathematics with the religion of Islam that is 1400 years old. John Carter said they say he's the angel of death with a flaming sword. That was his fiery tongue. So that's the question, where did he get it for real? Like we know that, you know what I'm saying, is you know, the only immaculate conception is through the mind. See, like Allah, he didn't use no woman to reproduce, you know, to produce this nation. So, how did Mary end up with a baby after she heard from the man of God? See, this is going into what Supreme Man is saying in terms of what is the real source of all of this stuff. Because, see, one thing he's saying, you know, Supreme Man, one thing he's saying, right, is that, you know, all of those Abrahamic religions, right, is a synthesis of a lot of things that came before it. You know what I'm saying? Like the concepts of the devil and the underworld, you know what I'm saying, that already existed in Hades from the Greek science, you know what I mean? And there's another religion, Zoroastrianism. The devil comes from Zoroastrianism, at least in terms of religions that they found. You know, that's the oldest religion that contains the devil in it. You know what I'm saying? And all the other different elements, right? These is practices and cultures that the original man had over time. So somewhere down the line, like when you deal with the story of Atlantis, right? And then they say every culture that they've come across so far has a story about a flood. So I'm saying, you know, I look at the mental aspect of everything, you know what I'm saying? But then, you know, when you look at the actual historic aspect of it, if we saying that God is a man, right? If we saying that God is a man, we saying that all these places, you know, right here where it say God, that really means the black man, right? So then who are these angels? Right, Allah took all the mystery out. It ain't no, you know, I don't believe that no angel really quoted the whole Bible to him and he recited the whole, like, listen, I got experience with learning how to quote. That's why I say when we get into these different holy books, right, and they give you their story of, you know, where the stuff came from, and we say, you know, or, right, see, Supreme Man said angels are highly developed scholars. Highly developed scholars. They people that mastered the knowledge and wisdom. Kareem said, take the word Islam and remove the religious aspect, sun, moon, and stars, hydrogen, helium, oxygen, carbon, 9 months pregnancy of a woman, 9 months pregnancy of the earth, 28-day menstrual cycle, 28-day moon cycle. When the doctor says, I can see the head, this is Islam. All that other stuff is religion. Precisely. So, is Gabriel the original man? Is Gabriel the original man that taught all these sciences? Not even say one, not saying that it's one individual. You know what I'm saying? But even to say if it's a title, like Supreme Man said it, is this a title, right, of highly developed scholars that come at different times, right? Or maybe at one time and manifest the truth, plant the seed here, and then the seed continues to grow. Because all these people, they in the midst of the original man, or they surrounded by the original man, or they walking with the original man at the time when they start seeing the light. Like it's some things that's cut and dry. Like, you know, we know about the Greek and the Roman pantheon and how they came from the Egyptian pantheon. We don't, you know, none of that is ascribed to angels. Not as mysterious beings. It's, you know, it's ascribed to Socrates and Pythagoras. And, you know, when they got over there, you know, Imhotep and, you know, whoever, you know, they show you that it's a direct contact. John Carter said, I can see that just like Yaqub wasn't just one man. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, just, you know, in these different instances, different situations. Jassim said, I see what you were talking about earlier because I'm gaining knowledge from your wisdom, but it's only an illusion until I do the knowledge for myself. Yeah. I mean, this is you know, it's a question. Then we looking at, you know what I'm saying, just like, look, it's the same with Buddhism. Well, when we see the image of Buddhism, right, it's like you know, Indians is Asian too, but I'm saying that, you know, they project more of an image like, you know, Chinese or Japanese. But in fact, he was amongst the original man. See, that's like a difference between, you know what I'm saying, religion and culture. Is religion, you know, how they founded and, you know, all the different things that happen, it's always miraculous. But in the culture, you could just say step by step how the real people built it up. So that's why I say it's the same kind of thing. I remember the other day when I was saying that, you know, sometimes you make up a story, right? You make up they make up a story because they don't want to tell you that the original man really did that. So they want to say that aliens came down and built, you know, the pyramids, or, you know, some other race of people that moved underground or something came and built it. So the same thing now, you're going to say the truth was manifested by a righteous but unseen being. Jonathan Kidd, peace to the God, said, checking in from West Palm Beach, Florida. That's peace. Supreme Man says Siddhartha Gautama was a black man. RZA told me the head Shaolin monk told him God was black and bowed down to him as God when he first went there. You see? But that's what I'm saying now. Look, he told him that, but the image that they project, right, is that Siddhartha Gautama went out there and meditated in some cave or something. They don't say that, nah, he was the original man, right, who was a highly developed scholar, like Supreme Man said, and he came out there and taught about science and the science of life. To where they all, you know what I'm saying, that wisdom added on, you know, Confucius, all these different people. So the same way we know, you know what I'm saying, you know, Allah was a man, that's who came. Nobody's not saying, yo, they spoke to no angel, you know, in the middle of the night, and, you know, nobody's saying that. At the same time, we gotta accept that, you know what I mean, this story, what they saying, nah, Muhammad had to be taught. Just like Jesus, they say he had to go amongst the Essenes. He had to be taught. So then that bring it back to the original question. Not the original question, but the question I was asking when we got cut off, right? Is did Muhammad teach Bilal and Abu Bakr, or did Abu Bakr and Bilal teach Muhammad? Because the only thing that came from Arabs is the Arabic culture stuff that's a part of Islam. So, we've already discussed, that the root, of people being called to prayer, right, is African. The root of Arabia is African. You know what I'm saying? The people he rolled with was Africans, right? So then, under those circumstances, I would find it hard to believe that it was the Africans that was taught. And that's something that there's a theory that I heard before, right, about Islam in Africa, that one of the reasons that Islam spreads so fast in Africa is that people recognize the science. Like, if you notice, the Africans, the way they practice Islam is not as politically involved. Like, they very pious about the principles of it. They say that the principles of Islam was recognizable. So that's why they picked it right up. The same thing with Judaism and Christianity. They say that the principles of it is recognizable to the people there. Supreme Man said, indeed, if we don't uphold the teachings, Allah would be a man that rolls out the Hudson on a rowboat on New Year's Eve with a 24-karat rowboard with a gold grill and Yeezys on it. Yeah. See? That's what could happen. Or even if we just decide that, we want to make some money off it, and so we decide we want to change it like that. Jonathan Kidd said Bilal was the knowledge and taught them. Kareem said, it's said that Bilal is from Ethiopia, but Dr. Wesley Muhammad says that's not true because he was a black Arab, and Abu Bakr as Siddiq was a rich man from Mecca. I mean, it appears that he's taking a different angle to say the same thing that I'm saying. You know what I mean? But it appears that he's just saying that the inhabitants of Mecca were black. Which is pretty much what I've, heard him. I've heard him, you know, speaking on that. Like that's his, you know, that's a whole, you know. See, I wouldn't say black Arab though. Supreme Man said he wasn't from Ethiopia, but no Semites were allowed to enter. No Semites were allowed to enter there without an original escort. So Bilal provided this for Muhammad. Kareem said they followed Muhammad's ways and actions. He was known for never telling lies, stealing, or trying to master anyone. He displayed this from childhood. This is why he had magnetic. I heard the same thing with George Washington. You know, this idea that, you know, Jesus and Muhammad, you know, are holy men, or any holy man for that matter. That's what I'm saying, you know. For me personally, like I said, because of my history with Christianity, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I'm not gonna go from Christianity, right, to come into, you know, I'm not gonna leave Christianity to come into Islam and still pretty much believe the same kind of things. You know what I'm saying? That holy people were blessed by some righteous but unseen being that exists everywhere. Yeah, Supreme Man said Muhammad's mythos is perfection. All prophets fit this criteria. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a story that they make up when they want you to believe in someone. Like, that's what I'm saying. If we saying that Islam is a natural way of life, and it's the natural way of life, then it shouldn't be no spookism. Like, if it's a natural way of life that the original man was always living, why you needed an angel to come and tell you that? Like, I don't need an angel right now to come and tell me how to be in New York City. And I've been in New York City my whole life. So if this was your natural way of life, why you needed an angel to come and tell you? Like, what is that even, you know, when we just take all the allegory out, what is that step even for? Like, we the gods. We not sending nobody to say nothing for us. You can't send no 85 to go teach for you. So if you already God, you understand what I mean, and you already blessing these people, what they need an angel to come talk to them for? So when we take all of that out, and we say that, look, regardless if it was Bilal and Abu Bakr or not, Muhammad had to be taught. Gabriel said, they said Jesus killed a friend. They told Jesus, you are good. Jesus said, I'm not good. Yeah, that's in the apocryphal tales. That's in the apocryphal tales, though. Kareem said Jesus was only for the 12 tribes of Israel. He said he didn't come to break the old law. It's the Pauline apostles that changed that. Now that's something different. That's something different. See, Paul is really from Rome. He really don't have nothing to do with Jesus. He's one of these people that's written into history and nobody, but Paul never knew Jesus. I don't even know if he existed at the same time as Jesus. Paul is really the guy that appealed to the pagans. He was the dude that relaxed all the rules. Paul was a Roman, either a general or a tax collector. And they sent Paul out amongst the pagans to conquer them. And when he got out there, he was like, yo, it's too many of these people. I can't, you know what I'm saying? What I could do is, you know how right now they say, look, when we go and invade this country, we got to win the hearts and minds of the people. That's what he said. I could go and put all of them in one mind. And then in order to do that, he had to relax all the rules and start allowing all those pagan celebrations, you know, your Christmases and your Halloweens and all of that in. Kareem said a lot of this stuff is myth that contains some truth, some kind of truth in it, but most of it shouldn't be taken literal as lessons. When you see numbers in the Bible, a lot of the time that's coded language. John Carter said, because they was uncivilized, that's why they have to pray 5 times a day. Kareem said Paul was 10%. Supreme Man said, right, exact, black man. Yeah. But that's a science, man, when you get into the history of the religion of Islam. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I was said in another live, that's the, you know what I'm saying, that's the Middle East is like the crucible. Like the Middle East is where the Caucasian man can write himself into history. Like there's other places, like he can't write himself into history in Nubia. See, it doesn't matter when they get there. They'll write their history to when they want to. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, like, look, they get to North America 16,000 years after the Indians and still claim they discovered it. So that's why you never gonna hear them teach as much about Nubia or Songhai or none of them places, because they can't place themselves there. They teach about Egypt because they can place themselves there. They show you the what's the names and say, well, look, you know, you got pictures of all types of colors of people. But they ain't telling you now these other people now, they didn't get there until the very end. So everything gets cloudy when you get into Asia Minor. God, I see himself. Muhammad can't read or write, so that meaning Muhammad took everything off. So that means Muhammad took everything on face value. I mean, that's another issue with Muhammad writing it. And you know the Arabs are not very, they're not very innovative. Peace, Universal. Yeah, the Arabs is not very innovative people. They was good at collecting history. They collected a lot of history and wrote it down. But what's the great Arabic invention? The guy, Gabriel, I think his name was a Muslim. But I don't know if he was Arab. And they didn't invent mathematics. See, the Muslims, right, the Arabs were in the middle. They were the middleman on all trade until Europeans start sailing. No. Those numerals are Hindu numbers. They call them Arabic numbers because, like I said, the Arabs were the middleman on everything until the Portuguese and the Dutch start going to India for their self. That was one of the reasons why why Columbus sailed the other way. Because this way right here, going around the bottom of Africa, that was controlled by the Portuguese and the Dutch. Now, before that was happening, everything was, the Arabs were the middleman, so a lot of people would get things, and they say, yeah, we got it from the Arabs, but the Arabs is not the source of it. Like, camels is not from Arabia. Camels is from the Gobi Desert. But because they was trading with the Chinese on the Silk Road and they saw that, oh, y'all use them to go through the desert, yeah, we can use them over here. The same thing is us, the original people. The Arabs first was the middleman for us until the Portuguese came and got us on their own. So they didn't know none of that stuff. They didn't invent that stuff. Actually, this was continued over. We was talking about religion and, you know, how it's distilled into the form that you know, we see it right now. You know what I mean? You know, I was coming from the perspective, you know, my question to the room was, you know, we don't believe in mysterious gods, so we don't believe in mysterious angels either, right? So who is Gabriel? You know what I'm saying? And when we know that, you know what I'm saying, if a person got knowledge, they got to be taught, right? Did Muhammad teach Bilal and Abu Bakr, or did Bilal and Abu Bakr teach Muhammad? Did the, you know, did this idea truly come from the Nabatean tribe? Or did the Nabatean tribe just put themselves in the middleman to be the middleman of Islam as well? And all those religions. Because like I said, if Abraham didn't know anything about Judaism, Christianity, or Islam when he came to Egypt, right? But they emerged from Egypt with the story. So even if Bilal and Abu Bakr didn't teach Muhammad, you still telling a story that did not emerge until they went amongst the original men. And then we was discussing, you know, other, you know, as far as Siddhartha Gautama, how it's this, you know, the same thing. You know, the image that they project of him is like, you know, he's Chinese or Japanese. Not that he's the original man. You know what I'm saying? Not that he's from India, not that he's a black man. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, over the times I seen that that's how their stories roll. You know what I'm saying? When they want to explain how the pyramids is there, then they say, you know, some beings from outer space came and did it. So my point was, where did all of these sciences really originate? How you see that? Supreme Man also was bringing up a point about, you know, how the religions that we deal with today, right? They like a synthesis. They got elements of all the religions that came in the past. You know what I'm saying? Or even the way we classify it right now, or the way, you know what I'm saying, it might be in the history book that these is religions. You know what I'm saying? But these are different languages in different specific ways that people had to apply their way of life. You know what I'm saying? In different locations. You see what I'm saying? So by the same way, you know, what Supreme Man is saying, you know, what I'm saying is that, look, all of this got to be taught. Like, we deal with the science of mathematics, right? That's the most high science. But at the same time, we had to be taught this. You know what I'm saying? Like, Elijah Muhammad is a regular guy. He's not like, yo, Allah went and, you know, he sat in a cave with the angel, and then the angel quoted the supreme math to him and all of this. You see what I'm saying? How much of the principles of Islam is the religion, right? We talking about how much of the principles of that is Islam? How much of the principles of that is mathematics, supreme mathematics, and how much of the principles of that is Arabic custom? Indie Red, peace. Kareem said, I'm going to say, as far as civilization in Africa and the religions played copycat of spirituality before religion. I don't understand that all the way. You saying that religion is a copy of African spirituality? Divine Truth says, when looking at how civilization have come about and how original people have always been, those who have taught ancient science to everyone, allowing them to come amongst them and learn. Right, now this is what I'm saying. Now, if you got somebody who's dealing with the Kemetic science, right? And you come to them with the Holy Trinity, right? And this concept of resurrection, you know, and being destroyed by, you know, your negative countrymen or whatever, they're gonna recognize those concepts. You said, why do I believe the Father is more right and exact than Elijah? Show and prove. I mean, I don't know if that's my point of view. More right and exact than Elijah? Like, what have I said? Like, give me an example of something I said where I'm saying that Allah is more right and exact than Elijah. John Carter said, I was locked up with a bunch of Muslims. It's all custom. They don't question anything. Yeah, Pierre Taylor. You in the NOI, Pierre Taylor? Divine Truth said we have been disconnected through time from that science which we've once obtained, and this mysterious being are giving credit to that which original people have been the architect of building throughout time. Wise ruler. Kareem said, yeah, but those concepts were taken from the universal laws. This is why I said Islam predates my eye. This is supreme, man. Yeah, that Elijah comment, yeah, I don't recall saying that. But Pierre Taylor, what did I say that led to that question? See, Kareem, this is something I think Supreme Man is trying to get across to you, is that Islam always existed, right? In the same way that man always existed, but not in this form right here. Like even, us as individuals. You understand what I'm saying? Us as individuals, we always existed. Like right now, when you have a baby, right? To make that baby a part of your actual physical composition. You feel it when it leaves your body, because it's an actual part of your physical composition, right? Is what forms the other person. You know what I'm saying? When they could look on your cells, right, and see the history of all the people, right? They could see the history of all those people that came before you, right? So all those people exist within you. You existed within all those people, even before you was in this form. So by that same token, Islam has always existed because mathematical law has always applied. But the manifestation of it in any given time, what Supreme Man is saying is that Ma'at, that's another time when they wrote down universal law, some other people. And yeah, the science of mathematics was in that, and the science of mathematics is in Islam. You understand what I'm saying? But
It's 9 o'clock.
It always existed in that form, but not in the form of people speaking Arabic, you know what I'm saying, and doing the Hajj and that type of thing. You see what I'm saying? So if you saying Islam in terms of I self, Lord and Master, then true indeed. You know what I'm saying? But see, this is a distinction that we making right now. When I'm saying, look, yeah, I know what Islam is. I know what I self, Lord and Master is about, right? But I'm saying this other history that you saying is the history of it, right? It don't check out. I mean, it could be things that I don't know, but right now it doesn't check out unless it was the original man that taught them, that taught Muhammad, I mean. Night Owl, peace. Kareem said, the Jesus story is taken from Ma'at, the first religion on earth. Ma'at is not taken from anything. Written is taken from the actions of the celestial universe. I mean, you gotta remember, man, that, you know, that's all a manifestation. Like, that's a manifestation of the people that came in that time. Like, when it said Allah come in his own good time, the people that came at that time, they wrote down mathematical law, right, in their language that they were using at that time. See, like Buddha, he wrote down mathematical law in his language. Allah wrote down mathematical law for us in our language, in our time, the way it applies right now. Now, hold on, Pierre Taylor is back. He said both are religious. Who you talking about? Allah and Elijah? You saying Allah was religious? Can you clarify that, Pierre Taylor? Wise Ruler said, our self-Lord and Master is different and predates the religion by the same name. Ma'at was made much later. So, Kareem, which you said you looking at Islam as our self-Lord and Master? Supreme Man. Wise Ruler said, ourself came and then all things came. Hanifullah said, you have to separate the religion from the culture. If you don't, you're going to be twisted. Learn 120. See, this is what I'm saying. You know, see, you can't talk about Muhammad, right? You can't talk about Muhammad from Arabia, right? And still, on the other hand, say that what you mean is our self-Lord and Master. Like, that's what, like, you know, you might have meant our self-Lord and Master, but see, as soon as you incorporate Muhammad and you don't mean Elijah Muhammad, then you talking about the religion. You see what I'm saying? But you gotta realize that, look, every train of thought that's written down, right, it's gotta be written down in a language. You know what I'm saying? Arabic was not around when Ma'at was written down. You know what I'm saying? Now, what kind of word is Islam? Now we know the holy flag is the what? Sun, moon, and star. That's what I'm saying. That, you know, yeah, the sun, moon, and star, all these things have always existed. But when you dealing with Muhammad, when we talking about Muhammad and Bilal, nah. We talking about how did these people get these teachings? And what I see is that the only way they have, right, of saying that they got it is when they say that a righteous but unseen being gave it to them. Even though I see you being all around the original man. God, I see him, said Arabs made Islam to a tradition, doing salat, going to Mecca, throw stones at the Kaaba, praying to a black stone. That's spooky. Al-Kim Salam said, Ma'at and Buddha are manifestations of our self-Lord, the master at different times and different cultures. They are based on the science of mastery. We got Allah will manifest. Y'all gonna be shocked when y'all see Allah will manifest on the after the class. Y'all are going to be shocked. Kareem said, Muhammad, I'm talking about the culture. He taught freedom, justice, and equality, and the messenger brought the message to the black man. Okay. Whose way of life did Muhammad teach about? D. Stewart, wise you. Kareem said, see, this is what I'm saying. It's a science to why they circle the square 7 times. Yeah, I still ain't get that one. Universal said emphatically no, that's mixing. Esau and Musa. What Esau and Musa had to do with this? Pierre Taylor said the father got the mathematics from unseen being fired. You saying Allah got the mathematics, the supreme mathematics from unseen being fired? You saying that Muhammad from Arabia tried to be like Esau and Musa? Yeah, universal. I didn't even know what to say to that. Like, He got it from unseen being fired. Listen, not even the NOI says that. You NOI? Wise ruler said he's seen far though, and so did many others. Who y'all talking about seeing far? You know? Yeah, you gotta tell me, yeah, the circle of the square, it's gotta be some geometric thing. Yeah, Allah will manifest. Allah will manifest. That you did good. You did good. But yeah, MF the Truth was there too. When like for all the new people and the people who, for all the new people, right, and the people that's not from New York and you somewhere where it's only a couple of guys, it's gonna be fantastic for y'all. For my brothers like Supreme Man and Lord Shala and Life Allah, when y'all see it, all I gotta tell you is listen, G, we got work to do. We got work to do. But it was peace though, man. I don't even think I'm gonna edit it. Shit come out. Yeah, I wonder if that's what Father he's talking about. He said, Father taught Daddy Grace, Father Divine. Not Allah. Yeah. Pierre Taylor. Let me see this again. The Father got the mathematics from unseen being far. You saying far is an unseen being? I mean, it sounds like you're not saying that. It sounds like you're not, I mean, from what you're saying, Elijah's a liar. Abdul Rafi and quite a few other people. Elijah's wife is a liar. You know, a lot of these people is just names that I've heard, but you know, I've read statements where they commented, you know what I mean? Some brother named Ugan Ali, I think. Oh, that's what you was talking about, Wisely. I hadn't seen his comment yet. Wise Ruler was saying that's what he was saying, but yeah, Fard, a lot of people said they saw him, so do you mean he can't be seen by the naked eye right now? Yourself said this Islam convo really comes down to what the 10% do. The 10% always push a religion or a religious mind state. We know religion is a slave-making tool. You asked where Muhammad of Arabia got his knowledge from, an unseen being, i.e., I'm asking who taught the father. Malcolm X. I mean, that's what I would, Malcolm X was the minister in the temple when Allah came in there. You know what I'm saying? That's where he was learning 120. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, Elijah. And then Elijah said he got it from fire. But these were all people who have been identified. You know what I mean? Rather, of course, it's many theories out there that, his identity might be fraudulent. I've heard that, but I've never heard in any circles that far it never existed. You know what I'm saying? And I think you must have came in the middle of me talking too. Because my whole point, what I was making, is that I don't believe Muhammad. I don't believe in unseen beings. So you kind of putting words in my mouth right there when you saying I asked, but it seems as though you thinking I'm asking as if that's the point I agree with. Maybe we need to back up some. See, the original question that came into this topic for me was, did Muhammad teach Bilal and Abu Bakr, or did Abu Bakr and Bilal teach Muhammad? And I was saying that a lot of times when they don't want to teach that the original man is really who did something, right? Then they teach that a righteous but unseen being is responsible. Or space aliens. Or the people in Atlantis that's under the water now. So that's what I was saying. But you said who taught the father? Malcolm X. Bill said that's not true in living if you're not seen or heard in real time. Joseph said, so Muhammad got the knowledge of himself like Musa, but his people being savage. When Jamal said go to Detroit, there's far history there. Alfonso Brown came in. Alfonso Brown was at the class live. He said Pierre Taylor has no knowledge of the history of the father, seemingly not even a time frame of when he was walking. Joseph said once his people got the knowledge, the devil of that time also had the knowledge. Then we get into those Islamic ways. Reveal said Malcolm was the father's alarm clock. The law will manifest says, can we use the lesson as trick knowledge? The lesson? You could conceal the lesson and make it trick knowledge. But you can't really, you can conceal the lesson or conceal a part of the lesson and make it trick knowledge. Got Supreme Justice in here. Pierre Taylor said, but we know that history is false, right? Yeah, explain that one. We know that history is false. How we know? How we know that? Yeah, Night Owl said it. You know, even the feds know Fuad existed. They just got his name wrong. Peace, peace, Supreme. Yeah, Pierre, yeah. What, who are you, Pierre? Because this is not NOI science or 5% science. Like it appears, or like, are you just coming around now, Pierre? You said, is trick knowledge used when the all wise call out people African? See, you know, geography is a thing. And until we go around and rename every place, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we from Mecca, Medina, Pelon, you know, until we rename every place like that, then we gotta be specific. Like when you say Asia, right? And we talking about the whole planet, which part? Like if you say, yo, you know, you going to this place over here, you know, you're gonna use a name that people understand your language, what you're talking about, or you're gonna have to explain it. So sometimes somebody's making a point, you don't want to go into the whole history of how Africa got the name and all of this. You're just making your point that you're talking about people from this geographical location. Pierre Taylor. Okay, Pierre Taylor, what are you a part of? Are you NOI? What is your name? Hey, what brings you here to listen to the teachings of the 5%? You saying a spooky spirit bringing knowledge. Do you know who Fuad is? Devon True said those who write history, example high schools, colleges, write history through Europeans' lenses, through Europeans' lens ways manifesting themselves in a light that's supreme, very seldom bearing witness to other said nations who have made enormous contributions. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with he could be Real Records. Yeah, Pierre Taylor, the next thing we need to hear from you is, what are you a part of? Because I've never heard this kind of talk ever. All right, now Pierre Taylor, I see that that's like a little bit of a statement right there. So you probably was taking a while to type it. I ain't asked you any of that. What are you a part of, Pierre Taylor? Because you're not basing this on what I'm saying. You're not basing this on what I'm saying. Because I never said that. Because I don't believe in any mystery God. So if you're telling me that I said something about something coming from a mystery God, you hopefully, man, you just somebody from Montana somewhere and you just don't know what we talking about. Alright, no doubt, Supreme, man. I'm probably gonna crash out by then though. And I gotta find a way to get that other thing on there, man. I might just post it. And then just come on later and we build on it. RP Reese for science. Yo, Wise, didn't I hook you up with that brother D Christian? It was D Christian or something. He was in Washington State. Jamal Gray said the root of all these religious stories is scientific allegory. Sun, moon, star, Osiris, Isis, Horus, proton, neutron, electron, mystery God, Mary, Jesus. Alright, P.A. Taylor, you gotta get out of here with your trolling now, man. I gave you a chance. You're going in timeout now. I told you simply, man, just tell me who you are, because what you're saying is wrong. Oh, Oh, that's what it was, Joseph. I knew it was sounds like something I'm supposed to tell Joseph. I couldn't think of it, man. I didn't stop by there, Joe. When I got up there, I was already running a little behind. Brilliant Allah, peace. But yeah, that's, you know what? I'm gonna check it though, cause this Sunday's the rally, so I'm gonna be back up there. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it again. But I know at the rally though, I'm gonna get some good stuff. I'm gonna try to get it. I'm gonna try to get Allah Supreme. Bro, you know, Allah said I'm 759 miles from Mecca. Yeah, it just hit me too. Remember, as soon as you came on, I was like, Joseph, man, what's something I'm supposed to tell you? But it was in the back of my mind, but it didn't hit me, man. Me and Allah, I walk right past there too. Civilized a lot. Peace. Man said meeting cancer. What civilized is that? Where you from, civilized? Yeah, trash. Yeah, Allah will manifest. Yeah, trash. Trash got the knowledge now, man. Trash got the knowledge now, man. I got trash. I got trash on not the very next project coming up, but on the project after that. And I'm on trash joint too. What's the most outlandish name I heard from a 5%er since I got it? Man, I don't think that, you know, I would have to definitely make a list. I would have to definitely make a list. The craziest name.